Good evening, one and all. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Season Wisdom Facebook Live. I think this is number 93, and I've been doing this for almost 1 year now. Who knows? I may reach 100 on the anniversary of my Facebook Live. Hopefully, I'm flowing a bit more better than that in the time I started. So for anyone that's joining, I've got Elena on there. Hey Elena, how you doing? Hope you're all well. Thank you for joining. Hope you haven't just come across this by accident and thought, what's he doing? Hopefully you'll get something out of this. So, what was I going to start with? So, when I went to Facebook Live, there's this new thing going on where you can do audio only Facebook Live, so you don't have to see my face. And I don't know if Facebook was trying to speak to me because I haven't had a shave in a while, the hair needs cutting, but that's all going to change. I'm off to Ghana again, Friday. For those of you who've been following my journey, you know I went to Ghana at the beginning of this year. Thankfully, I'm going under happier circumstances. So last time I went to Ghana was for my dad's funeral. This time I'm going for my great aunt's 80th birthday. So a lot happier and better circumstances. But again, I'm only going for a short period of time. But I'm grateful for the opportunity to go. And so yeah, that's what I'm going Friday. So the plan is to have a shave, have a haircut before. Davo, how you doing? Thank you for joining. So yeah, I'll be looking a bit more slicker come next week's Facebook Live. I should have just come back into England. Yeah. So Facebook Live, do what works for you. What do I mean by that? So some people will tell you to do things this way or do it that way, and sometimes it's good to follow what other people are doing. If you've got a mentor in your life who are in somewhere you want to get to, it makes sound advice to follow what they're doing. If you want to be a doctor, there's usually you've got to study certain materials. Mr. Finlayson, how you doing, sir? I hope you're well. There's something I need to speak to you about. I'll get onto that probably in a few weeks to come. But I hope you're well. You need to. Where's your Facebook Lives, John? You haven't done one in a while. If you don't know who John is, check him out. Doing big things for God and for prisoners and for people in general. He's a great guy to know. So sometimes people will tell you to do things a certain way, but I've learned a lesson in the last few days, and I want to share that lesson with you. And it's kind of a lesson I knew already, but it's really emphasised to me. Sometimes you don't have to follow the path that others have set. Sometimes it's good to follow the path others have set, but sometimes you've got to follow your own path and do what works for you. So what do I mean by that? Give you an example. There's 3 people I want to kind of quote or use as a case study, and then I'll share a little example for myself. So one is my cousin, my big cousin. His name is Kwa Daniels, Kwa, and then Daniels with an S. He is the founder of an organisation called Bounce Culture, and Bounce is about educating people through music. So he does DJing courses in schools. He does a lot. It actually started from a night he was in a bar or something. He played a little 10-minute set, and 20 years later, hey Carl, how you doing? 20 years later, he's doing educational courses in schools. He's managed to get on the curriculum in schools. So he grew up in East London, but he moved to Northern Ireland about 25 years ago. And a lot of people saying, you're crazy, why are you moving from London? Like, if you want to get into music, whatever, London's like the hot spot to be, and you're moving to Northern Ireland. But through sheer hard work and determination, blood, sweat and tears, he's forged a path for himself where he's actually got DJing on the curriculum in some of the schools, which is a massive achievement. And he's set his own way. I've shared a link to a podcast that he did, an interview he did recently. So he forged his own way, he made his own way. He trod a path that others haven't followed. A small, silly example, Richard Branson. So once upon a time, to do business, it's a scene thing to do was you had to wear a suit, 3-piece suit, you used to have a tie. Now Richard Branson refuses to wear ties. Once upon a time that would have been frowned upon, but it's not uncommon to see people just with a shirt on without a tie. May seem like a small insignificant example, but it can have a massive could be a massive lesson for some people. The third person I want to quote, Steve Jobs, was the creator and owner of Apple. We all know Apple computers, what they do, the massive impact they made in the way people view technology and how they use technology. Again, another person refused to wear a suit at all. Some keynote speeches, some keynote conferences, he just looked like a man, just everyday casual man, jumper and jeans. Some people would frown upon that. He probably wouldn't even get into some boardrooms and some companies because he wasn't dressed in the correct uniform. But for whatever reason, he decided to set his own standards, to set his own way. And then he became known for that. He jumper, shirt, beard, a bit like myself really, who had the jogging bottoms, and that's the way he did business. So sometimes you got to be bold and break down people's perceptions. The way, just because something has always been done one way doesn't mean it always has to be done that way forever. Now, this lesson really hit home for me where around vision boards. So beginning of the year, goals were being set. Everyone wants to set their New Year's resolution, and a lot of people were talking about vision boards, putting pictures, words on their board, which you'll be up in your house or up in your office for you to refer to as your reason why, as a motivation to keep going, and so forth. I've never done one before. I will do one. I never got around to do it. It's actually my wife who did one, but she incorporated some of my dreams and goals. So I'm just going to show it to you quickly now what she did. It was amazing. It took her a long time to do. Hopefully, let's put it that way, you can see all the kind of things that are on there. And that is up in our, well, you can't see me, there we are. That is up in our living room. Now, that doesn't resonate with me. I look at it and it just looks like a load of just looks like a load of pictures and words all clumped together. I can't make no sense of it. So for me, that doesn't work for me. But then everyone is saying, or many people are saying, you got to have a vision board. You got to have a vision board. And you got a vision board. So I didn't get stressed about it. It was just there, and yeah, it was just part of the house. But what I started doing recently is, some of you know I've started my own property consultancy, but we're going to go on a little walk here. I started my own property consultancy business. The intention is to work far less hours than I'm doing at the moment, and to then do other things that I want to do. I've got loads of ideas. Like, some of my big dreams are like to do a podcast, to write a book or write books. Many things I want to do, but all these things swirling in my head. And for me, vision board is not working, but I need a way to get this off of my head. So this is what I started to do. It's slightly less glamorous. It's post-it notes. So when I get random thoughts, so if I had the time I had in this world, what are the kind of things I'd want to do? So one of them, this one here, is open a school, Stroke Academy. I've shared with you my thoughts on education or miseducation. I've got things about helping certain people who are working for organisations that I really value or what have you. There's hey Lucia, how you doing? There's many things on here. This one here I came across is called I've Got a Heart for the Homeless. So this organisation called Bite Night. You can actually spend the night on the streets and know what it feels like to be homeless for a night. So slightly less glamorous. It's just post-it notes basically. Less glamorous than my wife's wonderful vision board. Look, I've just dropped one. And another one. And another one. Right, if one more goes, we're gonna walk away from this. You see, it's not perfect, but it works for me. It works for me. Hey Kelly, how you doing? Hope you're well. It works for me. So whenever is telling you to do something, and perhaps sometimes you've got to try things, and sometimes you've got to do things over and over again. For me to get to where I want to be, there are certain things I have to unlearn. There's certain things, attitudes I've got to have, mindset that I've got to change in myself. But there are some things that are just not me. The wonderful vision board, my wife, at the moment, it doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me in terms of, it just, like I say, it looks all cluttered to me. I can't make no heads of it. It doesn't. I don't look at it and I feel motivated. But when I go to my desk and I read some of the things that I want to do or people I want to help, on a simple post-it note, it helps. Nana, how you doing? When we're having that interview, when we're getting that interview together, People, if you don't know who Nana is, again, Nana, perfect example. I'm glad you're on here, Nana. Nana is forging his own path. He's set his own path that others are going to follow, in the role of just changing the word, the use of the word disabilities into the word unique abilities. I support you on that, Nana. I keep you in prayers, and I know you're going to get there. And I know it's a hard road you're traveling down. So if anyone can support Nana in what he's doing, then please do. I'm glad you're on here, Nana. Thank you for joining and watching. So that's it. I'm going to keep it short and simple. The homework, your takeaway from me, the Shyman takeaway, is any subject you want to work around, find something and do it your way. Oh, Mr. Sagasta, all the way from America. How you doing, sir? The host, the founder of No Sugar in My Coffee, another guy again, setting his own paths. He's a massive believer in continuous. What is it? Cousin. It means continuous education. Always educate yourself. Always find new ways of working, but always find things that work for you, even when everyone else is doing. So when everyone else is doing vision boards, I've just got post-it notes on the wall, but that works for me. So instead of trying to be someone else, be yourself. That's it. Short message for me. I hope it has a big impact for you. I'm trying to see how long I've been on for. I don't know how long I've been on for. I always say, if you know someone in particular who would benefit from this message, then share. Can you please share this with them? And this will go up on YouTube, and yeah, it'll also be on Facebook as well. The other message, I was torn between this message and the power of one. The power of one. I may bring that to you next week. It was kind of inspired by what's been going on at the moment with the terror attacks and everything like that. But yeah, hopefully I'll bring that to you next week. That's a little preview for you. But I hope you enjoyed this message. Hope you got something out of it. Thank you for watching. And God willing, I will see you next week while I'll be back from Ghana. Shyman Smile. I'm out. I'm out. See you later.